TV.
Are you feeling stressed out, anxious, need a few moments to just relax? Soulful Color, an affirmation coloring book for your inner child. Take a break and relieve stress. Calm anxiety. You could even color with your children. Why not have a girls' coloring night? And we can't forget that men color too. Soulful Color, an affirmation coloring book for your inner child, is now available on Amazon.
Good evening, everyone, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are and what time you're watching this program. My name is Aaron George.
And I'm Sandra Turgot, who was messing with my phone. Good evening, guys. How are you all doing? Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to Walking with Purpose, Money Mindset, Healing Our Money Wounds. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, again, welcome. And we just want you to know that Byond Talk is a social mentoring forum. It's a place designed to engage our community in thought-provoking conversation about real-life issues, triumphs, pain, grief, growth, and success. This space is designed to inspire you to foster transformation and healing. We believe that life is one big classroom where learners and teachers are interchangeable. Our mission is to inspire you to go after your healing so you can transform. One of the greatest tragedies in life is to lose your authentic self and accept the version of you that is accepted by everyone else.
Wow, Aaron. That's amazing. You're so good at this. I like it.
Oh, well, but thank you, Sandra. Thank you for the opportunity. It's wonderful, wonderful.
Nice shirt, by the way. How many African shirts do you have in your closet?
As many as I need.
Oh, boy, you're represented.
I'm building up a collection.
That's amazing. Did you see my African head wrap?
Yes, very nice, very nice. Did you tie that yourself?
I did. I'm learning.
Wow. That's a great skill.
Thank you.
Great skill.
Good stuff. All right, guys. Tonight we're continuing our conversation about healing our money wounds, changing our mindset in order to heal our money wounds. And I have a quote from Ken Honda, and it states, if you heal the pain you have about money, your financial situation will change. We're continuing our conversation about drastically. That was Aaron, you all. So, if you heal the pain you have about money, your financial situation will change drastically. And this is what we want for a community. We want your financial situation to change drastically for the better. So that's why we're having the money conversation. So tonight we'll be talking with Sophia Jackson.
Yes.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi there.
Welcome.
Thank you. I love that quote. That quote was amazing.
Good. It's by Ken Honda.
Nice.
Yes, but I thought it was a great quote, and I think it's really real. There's just simple words. If you do this work and you heal the pain you have about money, then your financial situation will change. Simple, right? So that's what we're talking about tonight. And before we jump into our conversation, we just want to ask you to introduce yourself to our guests. Tell them who you are, what you do. Why are you talking about money?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Sophia Jackson. I also go by Soj. And I'm a financial educator and also a child and youth worker and a creative. So singer, songwriter, performer, and also an author of an adult affirmation coloring book called Soulful Color. And my journey, it was very unorthodox. I'm like I said, a creative. I really didn't focus on money or finance. I just figured that if I do what I love, that everything would just fall into place. And it wasn't on my radar at all until I was introduced to World Financial Group, which is the company that I work with. And my mind was blown with all of the information that I didn't know and realized it's not taught in schools, and it's not shared it's not shared on a common level. And we just really focused with just the banks, and there's just a whole other world that I was introduced to that just made me realize that if I don't know this, being born and raised here, I didn't even, I'm first generation, so I didn't even, migrate from the Caribbean. I was born and raised here in the school system in Ottawa. I grew up in Ottawa, and I didn't know this stuff. I was like, there has to be so many other people who don't know it. And what I learned, it's like about 90% of the population. And then on top of that, with my work through my social work, or with students, families, young adults, I realized that a lot of the issues that we have come back to the root cause of money, not being able to provide, having both parents working full time and children being in after school program, before school programs, and so on and so forth. So that's, in a nutshell, brought me to where I'm at right now.
Wow, that was a lot. You look like 19 and you've done all that. Oh, that was a mouthful. Amazing. Well, thank you for the work you're doing, and I'm so glad that you're doing this money work, and I'm happy. I think it's time. It's time that we educate each other about our finances, about our money. So we're gonna jump right into our. Aaron, did you have anything to say before we jump right into a question?
No, let's. No, I think it's great work, in educating people.
Going on. Is somebody's phone on? There's a little background noise.
No, I'm not hearing it.
All right, go for it, Aaron.
Yeah, I was saying that with regards to financial literacy, I think there's a big need for that, like you're saying, and is great work. What are some of the challenges that you're seeing when as you're bringing forth this new information to families that that have lived without financial abundance?
Well, the challenge is really just the lack of awareness, the lack of knowledge, the lack of awareness, and then some of the idea that we focus. We like to keep the two things separate, just financial wellness and how we feel about money, our stories, our our biases, our beliefs about money. We like to keep them separate, and they really are connected, which is why I always say that financial wellness is very much connected to mental wellness, and it's not just and mental wellness being proactive, like you have the difference between mental health and mental illness, and we use those terms interchangeably, and really they're mental wellness and mental health is proactive. It's like you're looking at things ahead of the game, as opposed to waiting till it becomes a problem. And so that there is this real connection between the two, and that, we don't have it separately. So those are some of the challenges. It's kind of wrapping your head around the fact that, we operate from a place of feeling when it comes to money. In general, we do. So why would money be exempt from that? Mm-hmm. And then how it's just so interwoven into everything that you do.
It is. It is in everything we do. That is true. Wow. I love that, because without money, we can't even leave our house, right?
You're pretty much. Yeah. It's crazy to think about it, right? But you don't think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't think about it like that, but it's true. And we shy away from talking about it. And this is why we're opening up this conversation, because we realize that it's not something that we talk about. And I know you touch on the mental wellness piece, and I want to take me. So my question to you, and what I want you to expound on for us is, we know that financial difficulty or the stress, money bring on stress, and I'm hearing a little noise in the background. It's kind of like, yeah, but I hope it's not me. There's something going on in the background.
Do you hear it when I speak?
Oh,
Do you hear it when I speak?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So is there another device on?
No, I
No?
don't have anything.
No,
Alright.
yeah, and I'm muted.
Okay. So we know financial difficulty cause a lot of stress, right? So an anxiety for people. So tell us how we can maneuver that or walk through that when we're feeling anxious and stressed about our paycheck, our next paycheck that is already spent. And can you give us some tips and how we can prevent that from happening, if you may?
Well, there's just being self-aware, really tuning into yourself and how you feel and the anxiety that you're feeling. Self-care, I use coloring as a self-care practice and being kind to yourself. But then when it comes to specifically with finances, we there's this feeling of hopelessness that sometimes that comes up, that you're so overwhelmed, or
Yeah.
things in this way so long, you don't know how to change it or know what to do. And that's where having a financial professional, like there's different people that are at the table when it comes to your life. You have your doctor, you might a lawyer, you might have a counselor, or a mentor or something like that. So who's sitting at the table for you, working for you in your benefit from a financial standpoint? So having a conversation with somebody, and it doesn't matter, there's this idea of like, I don't have any money, so therefore I'm going to wait until I have something in order to have a conversation. Well, it's kind of, that's, not nothing further from the truth. In order to help you get to a place,
Right.
you could still speak to somebody, and it's like, cleaning up the house before the maid comes. Just let the maid do what they need to do, right? Because there's that shame, and there's that I shouldn't be in this place, or I shouldn't be in this position. And the thing is that you're not alone. The majority of us, we've seen with what's happening through this crisis, with COVID-19, is that over 6 million people applied for that benefit, the emergency benefit. So you're not alone. Like, the majority of people are in a place where they could use some type of assistance and help to make a change and make a difference. And then the first thing is pay yourself first. It doesn't matter how much money you're making or how little you think you're making. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you're giving. So the first thing I would tell anybody, single mom, you're working 3 jobs, like whatever, you always pay yourself first and put your money away for yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and believing that you can do it, because if you've lived a long time with that mindset of scarcity, of lack, and then all of a sudden you get this new information that this is how money works, and just to get them to take that hurdle, to change that mindset, it's not something that happens right away. It takes a lot of support from advisors like yourself, I imagine, with individuals to get there.
Yeah, definitely. The support is needed, because it is a big thing to change that mindset, like you were saying, Aaron. It definitely. And it's not lost. It's not lost on me, and I'm sure it's not lost on you guys either. That it's a generational shift off. A lot of unpacking, a lot of issues, a lot of baggage that's happened generationally, as well as whatever's happening and has happened in your life from the time you were a child, and
Right.
within your home about, money, if you grew up without, or if you grew up with too much, or whatever the case may be. Everybody's story is different, but our stories are what dictate how we navigate the whole money situation, and saving and investing and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
it all goes. Go ahead.
we talk about lack and scarcity and the whole poverty mindset. Sorry, you all, that's my dogs. I'm so sorry. That's my dogs. Say hi to Maya and Charlie. Somebody just came to the door, so he barked. That's what happens when you're working from home, right? You don't have a lot of control over all the background noise.
Yeah.
So a lot of us, the scarcity and the that kind of mindset, the lack, the poverty mindset. We know we talk about it a lot, but we don't necessarily know how to make that shift. It's something that's been talked about, and we think we understand it. Maybe intellectually we understand. Yeah, we shouldn't be thinking lack. We shouldn't be thinking scarcity, and we need to come out of this poverty rut that we find ourselves in, working paycheck to paycheck, making $50,000-$60,000 a year, which we feel like it's never enough. I don't even like that word, not enough. That's another issue. But so we know it, but we're stuck in it. So the reason why we're having this conversation is because we're smart people, many of us, and I've talked to many smart people. We're stuck in it. It seems like it's not changing. It's going around. It's like a spiral. So how can we tap into that deeper subconscious mind and do the unblocking or the unlocking? How can we tease it out so we can get to the place where we feel or we know that we're enough, and we have enough, and we know that there's no lack within us? Can you speak?
Well,
I know I said a lot. Can you remember what I said?
Yeah. I think I got it. I was just around the how to get unstuck, right? And it's something that I'm still trying to figure out myself. I mean, I know for me, it was just being sick and tired of being sick and tired, like just being in a place where I was ready for a change that I wanted to, and then I wasn't even, I didn't even know that I was ready until it was presented to me. And, you just go through life kind of coasting, not being like in poverty, but also not excelling either. And you want something different. You want to change.
Yes.
You want to leave a legacy. You want to, so usually it has to do with, just being in that space. Sometimes if you're not open to listening and not open to hearing it, then you're not going to hear it. Right. So it's being in that space, but then also to how to get there. There's a lot of breaking down, like I said, of unpacking of trust, finding somebody that you trust that can sit down at that table as your financial guru or professional, somebody that you can ask questions, and then just to inquire and recognize that, if you don't get anything else from what we're talking about today, is to know that there's options. There's so many different things that you can do that you might not be aware of. So find out what those things are. There's more to a financial journey and financial wellness than what's offered by a bank, or going to
going to Cash Money or something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to remember the name. Thank you very much. You read my mind, Sandra. There's so much more, and I would even take it one step further to say anything that you think that you could do, you can do. There's always a way. There's always a way.
Absolutely.
To ask a question, to find out, I'm afraid to take risk. Well, there's things that you can do that can guarantee that you're not going to, to lose.
Yeah.
Everybody's situation is different. I want to say that everybody's situation is different, but there is definitely a way. I'm in too much debt. Okay, well, let's figure out how we can get you out of debt. I don't have money at the end of the month. Okay, well, there's always more month than money, right? So how do we make it so there's more money than month? And then be open to opportunities, because there's a lot of different things out there that you can do. And all of these things, like really when it comes down to that mental health and mental wellness, you're always in a better position and in a better mindset when you're doing something to work towards changing your situation. Just having that feeling that you're up to something big. I'm doing something awesome. I'm making changes. I'm shifting my life. It puts you in a positive mindset that affects your mental health and mental wellness from a proactive standpoint. And then you're able to free up the bandwidth to tackle some of these things. Because that's another, when you're talking about challenges, Erin, another thing that I always hear is like, oh, it's just too much. I'm too overwhelmed. I'm too busy doing life. And it's like, it's kind of a catch-22, right? You have to kind of make this space in order to make a change, or else your life can just continue going the way that it has. And if you're not happy with it, then how do you break that cycle?
If you're not happy with it, you have to change it. So I said, we're gonna stop right there for 3 seconds, you all. We're gonna go to commercial break. See you in 3 seconds.
Are you feeling stressed out, anxious? Need a few moments to just relax? Soulful Color, an affirmation coloring book for your inner child. Take a break and relieve stress. Calm anxiety. You could even color with your children. Why not have a girls' coloring night? And we can't forget that men color too. Soulful Color, an affirmation coloring book for your inner child, is now available on Amazon.
We're back.
All right. Welcome back.
All right.
Excellent. So I want us to lead into the affirmations, Sophia, but before we get there, we're talking about healing the money wounds and then making that shift. And you talked about being sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And I think that definitely is a catalyst for the change. And I would also add just having that desire coupled with that inner feeling of, you're just sick and tired of this, but it's the desire that's going to direct you and get you to the information and the people that you need to put forward the change, get the information, get the financial literacy, get the education, have a plan. You have to have a documented plan. Plus, you need to have a practice to change your mindset. Okay, and I think this is where the affirmation comes in. But you'll talk some more about that. But you need to change your language that you have, the things you say about your dealings with money, and you need to reframe your experiences, those that you have lived and those that you have seen from your parents. Also, you need to look at some of the conflicting beliefs that you have about money, right? Because there's people that believe that money is the root of all evil, rich people are wicked, and because you have those subconscious thoughts about, and just to throw something out there, because you have all those thoughts internally in your subconscious mind, that deters you from trying to elevate yourself to a certain level, whatever you define rich as, right? So those are all deterring on you. So I think the way out of there is having the desire, because whatever you're looking for, it's looking for you. If you reframe, you see yourself as somebody that's money flows to you in avalanche of abundance. If you have those kind of a self-talk, if you see yourself being able to pay all your bills every month, and as part of your practice, you may not be in that situation right now, but if you see yourself in your mind doing the things that you desire to do, right, eventually become your reality. You can definitely change your reality. So you have to have that practice, and then you have to have documented, written goals and have plans in place to help get you to where you want to go. Could be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the road, but it starts with that desire. It starts with you're looking at yourself, changing that image that you have of yourself on your experience with money, and putting some place into some reinforcers like affirmation. So speaking about affirmations, let's talk about this book that you have, Soulful. What's it called? Urban.
One pause. Before Sophia speaks, can I just give a shout out to the people who are watching? So yeah, just want to give a shout out. And hi, Shauna. And Shauna said, I love that, Erin. So Shauna loved what you said. I don't know what you said that she loved, but she loved it. And hi, Gail Williams. Hi, Vern. You know, we need to get a gift for Vern because she watches every week when we're on. She's like a super watcher. What do they call the guy at the basketball? The super
fan.
Super fan.
Yeah. She's a super fan. We got to make note of that. All right. And hi, Mr. Yinka. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. We have about 9 people watching live, which is good. Yeah, people are watching.
And some familiar names I'm seeing too. So thank you guys for
Great. Watching for Sophia. So cool. All right, Sophia, go ahead. Take the floor. We're going to talk about your affirmation book.
Oh yeah, Soulful Color, an affirmation coloring book. The ad that you guys showed, thank you for showing that. It's all of the things that Aaron said, like everything that he said was so true and so powerful. And I know that for some, like especially coming from a Caribbean, West Indian background, sometimes we think that that's all like, you know, mumbo jumbo. You know, you don't need to like these talking to yourself and having these positive thoughts,
Yeah.
but you think like your brain is so powerful. Like it's so powerful. What you feed it and what you tell yourself, and it helps to either bring to light the negative or the positive. So you know, your brain doesn't know any different between what you want and what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to focus on all of the things that you want and have those affirmations in, and surround yourself and immerse yourself into positive thoughts, positive videos, you know, social media. You know, I've had a couple of people asking me, you know, what's happening with COVID and what's the count? You know, some people out in Vancouver that I know asking me, what's the count for Ontario? And I'm just, I really don't, like, I don't know. And that might sound like it's a little bit, you know, dismissive, or that why I should be informed. But the information is going to come to me regardless. You know, I'm going to get information. Somebody's going to tell me, it's going to pop up on my screen somewhere. So I don't need to go looking for it. And so therefore, I really have been focused over this time on staying focused on goals, and you know, what's life going to look like after this, and how am I going to position myself in a way that's going to be beneficial for after this. And that keeps you in a positive mindset. You know, like I said, being up to something big, just thinking about all of the wonderful things, because simultaneously with all of the things that we're experiencing and seeing, and you know, the lives lost, and it's very tragic, obviously, but there's also wonderful things that are happening simultaneously. You know, you want to focus on those things, and that all connects back to your mindset, and being in a positive mindset allows you to be able to make change and do things differently and dream big, you know?
Amazing. So I learned, Sophia, money, a lot of us think about money as a goal. Like I would wait till I make money. I wait till I have more money. So money is like a thing that we want to lead up to, which in fact that's not what money should be in our life. Money is actually a tool to get to our goals, right? But we find that our many people, I'm not speaking for everybody, I know there's a lot of smart, amazing money people out there that has their money issue together and they're good. I'm speaking to the people like myself who struggle with this for so long and say enough is enough and want to make a change. And I too see money as a goal. I want to make more money. I want to have more money. Blah, blah, blah. I see money as a goal. When in fact, money is not the goal. It's a tool to get you to your goal. So, do you agree? Can you speak to that? Can you tell us how we can make sure we use money as a tool to get to our goal?
Well, yeah, I agree with what you're saying 100%. It's definitely, it's a means to an end. So we want to, when we're talking about money and our financial life and, you know, what we can buy, or, you know, just freedom, it's all connected to, you know, what we have in our bank accounts. So we want to avoid having to make decisions based on what we have in our bank accounts, because it's limiting. So trying to figure out a way to be in abundance so that you can live life abundantly. That's and to you don't have to. It's just not to be afraid to take that first step, regardless of where you are in your life. And a lot of times, you know, we like to think that we're good. You know, I hear that a lot. You know, I'm good, I'm fine, and I'm like, why be okay with just being good? Why be okay with just being fine? You know, like there's why not be awesome? Why not be fabulous, fantabulous, even when it comes to what you're able to do and what you're able to accomplish. And there are ways, regardless of where you're starting from, there are ways to get you to fantastic, you know, when it comes to
do you think we say we're good or we're fine? Because I know that's a cliche. That's usually a lie when we say, I'm good, I'm fine. Do you think we say that because we're afraid? We're afraid to take the leap. So I said, I'm good here. But really, we know we're not good. We know that the anxiety, the panics we get even about the month end coming up, we know we ain't good. But we say I'm good. So do you think it's fear that keep us stuck in this place of, oh, I'm good? Oh, or we like to say, God's got me. And I totally agree that God's got us. I'm all for that. But I also believe that God has given us such a reservoir, a great big reservoir of creativity. And there's so much we can do. And I don't think it's His plan at all for us to be lack. I don't think that we should want for anything. I really believe God's plan for us is for us to have abundance, as you say.
Abundance, yeah. Yes, and you know what my mom always said to me often was, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways, right? And so that could be you sitting here watching this, you know, watching us have this conversation right now.
Yes.
That how the universe, how God, how a higher power is working for you and bringing things to you, a message that you need to hear. So from that standpoint, yeah, I mean, fear does definitely come into play. Complacency, you know, just being okay with being okay as opposed to thriving. You know, also, again, like we were talking about, just the, you know, the purpose of us, you know, this theme that you've, you know, been so like brainchild. It was amazing that you're focusing on the mental health and the mental wellness and healing wounds, you know, financial pain, financial wounds, all of those things come into play when we are at, you know, when you say, yeah, I'm good, is that like, because it could be a major undertaking, like to make that change. And then you're just, oh my gosh, all the things I'm going to have to do, and, you know, where to start, and the overwhelmed feeling about that. And trust me, it resonates with me 100%. You know, I had to get my stuff in order before I even thought about looking at helping others and supporting others.
Right.
It was a journey for me too. So I'm not here to tell you that it's going to be easy. I actually think that the fact that we even say, you know, it's not going to be easy, is like nothing in life is easy. everything has its challenges. Everything is a process, and it takes time, and all of those things. But when you have somebody in your corner, you know, I like you know, my extended family at my office in Mississauga, like the Dominate office and the Ring team, like these guys, they're a support. And that's another thing too, having supports around you, people who are on the same wavelength, like-minded individuals. That also helps very much too when you're looking to make some changes.
Awesome. So Sandra,
Yes, sir.
I just want to go back to the want, because I think there is an attachment that we have towards that result. And again, because, you know, we haven't made that shift in our subconscious mind, the want suggests lack, suggests don't have. And that's how you're programming your subconscious mind, that you don't have it. It's not going to be there. It's going to be that stressful time all over and over and over again. We talked about it's like that insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting just different results. So we have to shift it from want to, again, seeing it as, you know, the thing that you desire, seeing that outcome, that new outcome that you desire to achieve at the end of the month in terms of paying all your bills, making sure there's income to pay on your bills. You definitely have to make that mental shift and create it in your mind, right? While you are out there working and to make sure the money is there, you know. But I believe it's so powerful once you tap into that vision, everything else falls into place.
Yes.
When you tap into
powerful
abundance, so you're saying that mental vision of abundance.
That mental practice, right? And if you were to become aware of that stress that you feel every month, right? It's because of that lack. It's that lack. You think every month, you know, you're going to be in that deficit, you know, that $500 deficit. You're not going to have, where are you going to get that money? But you know, you here's the thing. Once you recognize you have a situation, you got to take action to fix it. Right. If you don't take action to make sure next month is going to be different, then it's going to be the same stress all over and over again. And it could be as simple as let's say the situation is income. You don't have enough income, right? Then there are things you can do. You could either go for a promotion at your job to get more income, or do a second job, right? Which is something that I've done. I've had a financial deficit, and the only way I could account for it was to go out and get a part-time job. Right. But while I was doing that part-time job, I always had a vision in my head of getting to the point where the income from one job was enough for me to live. Right. So, you know, until you get there, you got to start seeing it in your mind's eye, and then do the thing, take the actions necessary to help get you there. Right.
Our people are listening, but they're not saying anything. Hey guys, on with us. Say something. We will ask a question. Put a comment. We want to hear from you guys. We really want to hear. This is not a monologue we are having here. We're having a dialogue. We really want to engage you to have the conversation with us, because we don't claim to know everything or anything. We're just opening up the conversation. We're just opening up the can of worms. So
yes, I mean, we're just scraping the surface.
We can talk, and I know some of you all that is watching, you guys might know something that you can share. It's all about us helping each other, right?
And it's uncomfortable, right? It's uncomfortable conversations, right? Like most people don't even know what their parents earned as income, you know, because we never discussed it in the house. They never knew what their parents' spending habits were.
I'm so glad that you brought that up. The uncomfortableness of it, that it is something that, you know, like, mind your business. That's none of you know, don't talk to me about that. And we get our backs up, you know, and that's part of the issue that we experience, especially in our community, is that we just, like, you know, want to tell people to leave it alone. And people that have money and are in abundance, they have no problem talking about it. What is part of letting go and opening up and trusting, because nobody can help you if you're not willing to let somebody in, right? And
Yes.
I know that speaks to building a rapport, building trust, but definitely taking the time to do that and find a way to let somebody in, because the first thing is to kind of delve in and see what's happening, take a snapshot, see what's happening in your financial world, in order even to just do some shifts. It might not require extra money. It could just be shifting what you're already doing.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
You were saying about having another job. I'm a big advocate of business ownership, being an entrepreneur, because be able to become financially independent, working for somebody else's dream.
Yes. Oh, that's another show. That's
Yes,
a whole other show. We need a whole hour to talk about that one. So I'm going to write that one down. I want us to talk about the triggers. So a lot of people, they don't consider those feelings, those emotional senses that are going off inside of them, triggers about money. But on the show, the reason why I do this, I really want to be transparent and honest, really transparent. I get many triggers about money, and since I met Aaron, he's been my money guru. He's the one that's talking to me about this lack mindset over the last maybe 2 years, and really, I'm so much further along. I was not where I was 2 years ago, and I would have severe triggers, almost like cramping in my stomach, because I would be in panic about how the money is going to stretch. And and I know I'm not the only one. Come on, y'all. I know many people feel these triggers. And I was talking in the last show that even going to the mailbox was a trigger. I would pick my mails and don't open them. I would just bring them inside, sit them down, and don't open them. So then I realized that I have a problem. And so, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, and those triggers are, and they're external. It's like you're not taking them in as being something that you have to deal with. It's like you put it on somebody else, and
Yes.
might get upset with some, or what's happening externally. And yeah, thank you. That's so awesome that you're sharing that. I've experienced the same thing. You have this. It's part of your past. It's part of your history with your relationship with money that comes into your present and like bites you in the face, and whomever you're having a conversation with, that can happen as well. But it's really about just about your past and how you've gotten your trajectory to this point, and then it represents itself in the now, and you get that, and recognizing that it's a trigger. That's first step is recognizing that that's the case, and then trying to figure out, okay, so what do I do with this, and how do I
right
put it aside, and recognizing it, and then you're able to put it aside and be like, okay, so how I'm not going to allow this to stop me
or to make me sad.
You're blocking yourself. You're blocking your own.
Exactly. So Aaron kind of taught me, and I have a few other people in my life that we talk about money, and we all are in this money journey and working hard to change the way we think and operate where money is concerned. And it's been an awesome journey. It's been an awesome journey. Now I don't get anxious about it as much. If I feel that trigger coming on, I recognize it, and I talk to myself, and I change the dialogue from that negative feeling, and I start talking positive about it, because money is not a bad thing. And I keep saying money is a tool. Money is not something that I get anxious about working, but not feeling like you don't have enough, and that's a lot. That's real for a lot of us. I hear it in my workplace, and it's not only Black people. I hear it from Indian people. I hear it from white people. It's just this cycle of not having enough, and I changed that. So I start telling myself that I have enough, and since I started doing that, I feel like it works.
Definitely does.
I have enough. I just, as you say, I just have to change some things. Maybe shop less. And that's another thing. When we don't have money, when we feel like we don't have money, we spend more money.
Yes, yeah. Again, It's that mindset.
I used to go to winners. The mindset. I winners. They got a lot of money from me. I pass it now.
Yeah.
I try to pass.
Yeah, we do a lot of things that kind of don't make sense, that are self-sabotage, that make us feel good. You know, it's like eating that bag of chips or that chocolate bar like I did last night. I ate a whole chocolate bar because I was feeling a little bit stressed, and then that's the opposite of what I need to do. So it's really cerebral. It's really, you know, very focused on, and how you feel. How you feel is what you goes into your choices. I was like, the analogy I've used before is, you know, even with big purchases, you know, like buying a house. You walk into a house and you're like, oh, I like the way this feels. You know, I like you know, the house feels. You don't talk about the, you know, $1 million.
Yeah. You just talk about the feeling of it.
Talk about the feeling of it, and I'm the first one to say that, you know, we talk about from, you know, paycheck to paycheck, and there's a lot of money out there. There's, you know, there's a huge transfer of wealth happening. Our community has money. It's really not about, you know, whether you have somebody who can be making $100,000, $200,000 and still be living paycheck to paycheck. It's what you do with your money, you know, and taking those steps to you know, put money away, to invest, to have your money work for you. And because if you're not in a space where your money's making you money, then you're gonna be working until you die, and that's not what anybody really wants, right? You don't want to be in retirement worrying about this stuff. And so definitely, you want to put yourself in a place where you're getting residual income, passive income, and that's very doable. That's not just you know, movie, television, and songwriting or whatever. That's something that you can do for yourself too, and should be a goal and a part of that.
Awesome. So tell me about this coloring party for men. This from your urban affirmation coloring book. That sounds like something pretty exciting. Tell us about that. How do we start that?
Well, that's like an event, you know, after we are done with this whole social distancing thing, something that I do. I mean, that connects to the whole mental health and mental wellness, you know, being proactive. What's your self-care practice? And men color too. That's, you know, one of the things that I, because coloring is kind of seen as something that only women do, but I know that color as well. And it's very mindful, intentional, you know, it's stress relief, anxiety relief. It's proven to be, because it activates the other side of your brain. And back to a simpler time, you know, when you were a kid coloring, when you had no cares in the world. So that's the of doing something, you know, art therapy it's in line with art therapy, right? And so when I created Soulful Color, it was that in mind. You know, I was having a hard time. I was stressed because I had gone back to school as an adult and wanted to get honors, and I used coloring to kind of calm in between exams and group work and stuff like that. So I think it's not only do I think, but it's just really, it's proven that, you know, sitting down and the sound of the pencil crayon on the page is very therapeutic.
Okay.
And
so
so
I can
is it like
color, do you color, Aaron?
Is it free coloring? Is it free form coloring, or is there a connection to finances while they're there and having the conversation? Is it raising awareness about that?
What, at the event or in the coloring book?
In the coloring book.
In the coloring book, it's a connection to urban themes. So like, you know, you're like the third or fourth person who said I should do a money coloring book.
Money coloring book. Why don't we do that? Money coloring book.
A passive way of getting the message having the message resonate with them subconsciously while they're having fun creating pictures.
Yeah, that's very powerful.
Very
Subliminal.
I love it.
We're gonna have to sit down and brainstorm some images for that.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. That's a deal, Aaron.
Because
it's wrapping up. So can you take it away for us? We're pretty much out of time. So can you take it away?
Wow, that went by so quick.
So quick. It does went by quick.
Well, again, thank you so much, Sophia, for joining us today on this great conversation. And, we really appreciate your input. And, we also appreciate the people that are viewing and the people who will view the program. And we encourage them to share it with all their people in their network and send us your comments. We surely get back. We'll surely get back. We'll surely get back to you with regards to your comments. And, you can also always reach us at Sandra and I at beyondonline@gmail.com with your questions. We have coaching, mentoring programs that we're also heavily engaged in. And like we said, we want to be able to inspire you to foster your transformation and healing. Healing is prevalent. There's a lot of stuff going on with us that we're not aware of, but like working with financial and otherwise. But we find that when you work with someone, be it a life coach or a financial coach, you get better results. You have somebody working with you, holding you accountable, sharing with you information that you're not aware of that can help you have a breakthrough. And that's why we do this. We want to inspire people to get on with it. Let's start healing. It's healing time. Especially now with what's going on with COVID-19. It's not our fault, that we are where we are. We cannot raise the white flag or raise a white flag. So, take this time to go within, discover your skills, discover who you are, get connected with who you are. You are stronger than you've ever thought you are, or you've ever led to believe. You just got to take the time to go within, declutter your mind, fill your mind with positive, constructive thoughts. And when this COVID-19 is over, you're going to go to new heights and be bigger and better than you've ever been before. So reach out, reconnect with us, and we will be there to cheer you on.
Amen, brother.
And to help. That was so inspiring.
Preach it. Okay. Love it.
Yeah. And so we will be back next week. And we want to also thank Yenke Farinde, the man behind the scenes, Abidog Productions. He's the one that's been able to bring us all together from our various locations to put the show together. And we so much appreciate you, Chief. We know you're listening. We're there back there. Thank you for all your support. And we'll continue to grow and continue to do what we do best, which is to inspire people to heal and to transform their lives.
And last but not least, we want to give a big thank you to all the healthcare workers, all the frontline workers, the truck drivers, the grocery store attendant, anybody who is on the front line right now working and showing up for us. We want to say thank you. We do not take it lightly. And we know these are serious days. We do not take it lightly at all. We just want to say thank you, and God bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you and give you peace. Aaron just set me off. I feel like preaching. Anyway, good night, everyone. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Now. Take care.
Are you feeling stressed out, anxious? Need a few moments to just relax? Soulful Color, an affirmation coloring book for your inner child. Take a break and relieve stress. Calm anxiety. You could even color with your children. Why not have a girls' coloring night? And we can't forget that men color too. Soulful Color, an affirmation coloring book for your inner child, is now available on Amazon.
Stack TV.